world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Oh, we paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on tuning now, hear what I say, but watch it real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above, and if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, oh, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hello, it is Shoshie from Shoshie's Magnificent Minis. Welcome, everybody. You guys have all been waiting for our final paint-along stream for the Karol Rudyk bust. I want to say hello to some of the people in chat. 30 Studio, Heart Evolve, and Lamunas, Super Sarah, Runekin. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Let's look at the wonderful bust you guys have been waiting for. We did a, oh, did I forget to switch? There we go. All right, so overhead, there we go. There's the gorgeous bust. This is the bust that we're going to be building today. I have another copy, and we're gonna, many of you did a pre-order with me earlier this year, and I think about 22 busts went out. And so we're going to be building this lovely lady. Look at how much detail is in this. Karol Rudyk sculpted this. Hello. Hey, Miss Half Damage, Ray Silver. Good. It's good to see you guys. Hopefully everybody can hear and see me okay. All right. Now, We just posted, and Lamunas, can you post it one more time in case people just are joining us? There's a Google Doc. I'll put it in, if you're watching this on the YouTube, because some of you are from Australia or can't watch this because you're at work, I will be putting the links in the description of the YouTube video as well. Yay, and Lamunas, 6 months in a row. Thank you so much. I'm gonna write down my subscribers here. There we go. Thank you. And also look right here. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, you can see right here where I'm pointing. This number is the number that we're trying to get up to 3,000. When we hit 3,000 followers on this channel, on this Twitch channel, we will be having a big giveaway and a party. Again, another painting party. So I'm excited about that. NG Lamunas. Thank you again for the wonderful subscribe. Here is the PDF. I printed it out. Let's see. It says Karol Rudyk, Elsybeta, Vampire Princess, and the list of tools that you need in case you are too lazy to click on the link below. Although the link in my profile for the in the Google Doc has Amazon links for everything. So you can click on those. If you don't live in a town that has these easily readily available, or you don't have your own supplies, you can just order them. You need a miniature file set. It doesn't really matter what size, as long as they're for miniatures. Bondic, again, not necessary, but really, really useful in this particular build. Hey, Grelix. Hey, Amberden. Good, good. Exacto knife. Loctite Professional Super Glue. That's my favorite, but I also will be using this Insecure. A lot of people have this particular, it's just cyanacrylite, and you know, they brand it for different places. This one comes from my local hobby store, but if it comes, you want the gap filling medium, 5 to 15 second glue, Insecure Plus, and then with that is the Insta Set, the accelerator. So we'll be using those. Bamboo picks or skewers, which I have just some little toothpicks for applying super glue. That's what we'll be using instead of like anything fancy. Oh, look at that. That one's probably dead. We'll throw that one out. Hey, Strokes of Chaos, how's it going? Let's see, what else? Alpha Abrasive Sanding Film. Now again, you do not have to have this particular brand, but I like this brand by Alpha Abrasives. It comes with 5 different grits of sandpaper, 150, 320, 400, 600, and 1,000 grit. And this is item number 0201 from alphaabrasive.com. It's made in Canada. But again, you can get it on Amazon. You click on my link. I want to put this out there that these are affiliated links, so I do get a little cut. So if you're wanting to help out the channel, these links do go to help the channel. I figure it's you know, fair payment for finding all these things for you guys, but you do not have to use these items by any means. Wooden dowel rods. Now I've got different dowel rods than these, but basically 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch, 3.17 millimeter or 6.3 millimeter. And that is just going to be used to put the pieces on while we prime them and paint them. Now, let's take a look at the model. I'm doing good, Strokes of Chaos. We are going to be building this lovely vampire bust, Elsybeta, and you can kind of get a look at how she goes together. I'm just going to turn around. She has lots of little pieces that we are not going to glue on today, but we're going to glue on the bigger pieces so that we can spray prime and everything, and then the smaller pieces we're going to attach to dowel rods and prime them on their own. Now I want to show you guys, I've decided to use the concept art for our color scheme. So feel free to use your own color scheme if you want to, and just paint along however you like. But if you want to use this color scheme, this is the one we're going to be using for Elsybeta. So she's got some really pretty simple palette. We've got gray, black, white, red, and orange, and some peach. Aw, Flickster! Hey guys, hey Flickerinos. I think that's what he calls you guys. Let me real quick, guys. If you have not followed Flickster in my channel, give him a follow. I want to welcome everybody who is here. What an awesome group to get to start. We're going to be building today a special model. This is Elsybeta. We're going to be doing a build along, paint along with this model, and you can get her from Karol Rudyk's website, which if you guys hit !paint in the chat, it should bring up the link. I'm hoping. Yeah, I think it will. And so we're going to have another 2 weeks or so before we get to painting her, so that if you live in Europe or in the UK, that may be enough time to still order her and get her built and everything. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lamunis. Yay, look at the raid emotes. I love it. I love it. Gur is there. Our good spieler. It's been a while. Glutinus. Guillotinus. Hello. All right. So this is the model that we're going to be building. I talked about how we have a PDF of all the tools you need. We're going to be putting this video up on YouTube, so you'll be able to follow along at any point. Let's say you can't watch this entire stream, but you want to do this along with us and catch up to the point where you can paint her. So we'll have the PDF and everything in the information. And I'm going to go ahead and upload this PDF. This is the list for the build stream only. We'll be having another PDF for the paint stream, but I'll be listing this with the your order took less than 2 days to arrive, Emberton. That's great. So yeah, Emberton lives in the UK, so that means that if you live in Europe or UK, that's definitely enough time. Hopefully he has enough in stock, but order quickly. Tell him Shoshie sent you. You know, let him know that you're doing this for the build along. Maybe that will help him. I'll let him know to like expedite those orders so that you guys can paint this with us. Or I'll tell him, you know. Good. All right. So we're gonna just take a look. So like I said, we were talking about before, we have lots of wings and things that are not going to get glued on, yet they're gonna get put on dowel rods for us to spray, prime, and paint, and then apply later. And I want to point out some things. This particular bust that I got was sort of like probably a second. It was a factory second or something, because it had a few problems. But can you see this right here? This was a huge bubble, but look what we filled it with Bondic. So if you have any Bondic, let me show you. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it through that link that I have. Bondic starter set. Here's my link that I've got to it. It's in my profile under Shoshie Recommends if you don't have the PDF. And you get basically 2 tubes of product. This thing is a game changer. And then a light to cure it. And it fills holes, fills gaps. We're going to be using that absolutely to build this, because it's going to help amazing with these tiny pieces. Because even these little wing right here, those are separate pieces. And these little spikes here. Yes, it's going to be, look at this. Let's look at the concept art again. This is the concept art. I printed that out from Karol's website. Again, a very limited palette. We're going to do some dark metal with some reflections. She's a really simple, I mean, she's not simple, but she's not going to be too difficult as far as very many colors. Limited colors, which is going to be nice. Okay. Lots of dark colors, lots of black. We'll be figuring all that out in the next couple, I think, depending on how long this takes us. I'm hoping that this will take us 1 or 2 streams, but we should start now. Okay. So I've got a little box of dowel rods that I keep my extras in here. Those are my smaller ones. And let's see. All right, here we're gonna get out these, you have your bust, go ahead and, you know, get out the biggest piece, which is this actual torso. Okay, put that back there. Yes, thank you. How are you, Flick? I saw that you were streaming today and I was excited because I know it's been hectic for you lately. All right, so as I'm looking at this, there's some pieces on here and here that need to go. Oh, one thing Amberden reminded me that is not on my list, but I'm hoping that everybody has, are clippers. Let me check and see if I have mine with me here. It's my clippers. These are the Citadel clippers that I bought. These are like the Cadillac of clippers, but as long as you have any kind of side clippers, it's gonna work perfect. Yes, and please ask questions. Use Ask Shoshie's or at Shoshie's Minis to ask questions because I don't want to miss any. Weird Bard is in the US. I never ordered outside the country or used PayPal. Well, but I will tell you, we ordered from Karol and everything went great. So if you don't have PayPal, I don't know what to tell you. It might take other forms, but I don't know for sure. Sore throats. Ah, had a talking workout. Hey, casual painter. Just glad to pick up the brush again. Good. All right, now this is careful. You have to flip this big chunk of resin off without losing that corner of your outfit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here and cut down like that, right? These are, like I said, the Cadillac of clippers. And then I'm going to cut this way. See that? So we're cutting the resin, the biggest parts of the resin away, preserving this. Now we can come here underneath that tip of clothing and cut this. Now I may make mistakes, and that's why we have the Bondic. That's why we have other ways of rescuing things. And if I make a mistake, then I'll show you how I'm going to fix it. So now I got my Exacto. I can kind of carve out some of this extra resin. We don't need to get rid of all of it. Most of it's going to be hidden, but we needed to preserve that piece of the clothing right there. So there, that's it. That's the first piece. I think for speed and time, I'm going to get rid of this, but off stream, I'm going to go ahead and sand that down or cut it down with my Exacto. And then I'm going to go back, look for any, this is right here, a mold line and flash. Just skim your Exacto along the edge of it, cut off the most of it. Right there. Well, if I decide I truly can't live without that, you can join the 21st century and get PayPal. Exactly. It really is pretty safe. I use it constantly for my business, and I have never had any problems with it in the past. Well, you know, once in a while they'll freeze my funds, but I always end up getting them later. So they don't usually cause me any problems buying anything. It's usually just receiving money when I have problems with PayPal. There we go. So just cutting all of the mold lines, especially any mold lines that might be visible. Any flash. See, this might be a visible one because it's right up by the edge. Big piece of flash right there. That one might not be visible. Can you guys see that line right there? Yep. And then that is definitely going to come off. Try to use safe cutting habits. If you see me cutting toward myself, remind me not to, because I'm not supposed to. There we go. Okay, now we're back to another piece of resin again. So this again, I'm going to look to where the clothing, the bodice is coming down. And I'm going to cut right against the line. So that way whatever is behind it is just hidden. And that makes it so that when I go ahead and trim this way, I'm not cutting off anything I want to keep. Okay? Good. Oh yeah. That's right, a few people did buy two busts, which was smart because it gives you one to make mistakes on and one to, you know, refine. I bought 2 busts as well. Now, before I go any further, I want to tell you guys something important. I have this bust right here. I have the one that I'm building right here, and I have one more. You can better bet that we will be giving away at least one of these 3 busts that I have. Probably 2, depending on how many I get painted. So, if you get a chance, try to watch live because it's going to be a giveaway with chat points. And so whoever is, you're acquiring chat points just by sitting in the chat. And whoever wins it, I will be giving this away to them, one of them. They'll either get a plain one, we'll probably give away one plain one for them to paint, and then one completely painted one. So that is going to be something that you guys can look forward to after watching many streams. There we go. All right, so I'm just getting all the little flash pieces off. I'm looking. So this one, I'm just gonna trim this a little bit. I have just enough OCD that my life is not ruined or interfered with too badly, but enough that my perfectionism sometimes wants me to keep messing with stuff that I could probably leave well enough alone. I am not an MMA fan, but I will tell you I am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fan. So that's why my shirt says arm bars. I recently went to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament for my friend, and I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this because not only is it Star Wars themed, but it's Jiu-Jitsu themed. And I like it. Yeah, and then absolutely. Okay, look on the side here, mold line. This is where you're going to carefully cut. It's so much faster just to use the Exacto to trim that. Don't try to file it because resin files, I mean, you can try to file it, but resin does get roughed up. So it's better to scrape and try to trim and then do a little bit of sandpaper to smooth than it is to use heavy files. So we're removing that line. Right here. Boom. Yes, Amberden, thank you for mentioning that. Scale 75, both US and European are doing a 20-hour sale, and I believe the code for the US is 20/20. But just go to the site or go to their Facebook page to check because I think they might have announced it. But yeah, they had reached, what, did they reach 20,000? I can't remember how many subscribers or Facebook followers, but they had a bunch and they reached it. And so that means they're having a big sale for it, for everybody. All right, so looking at the back, I just see a mold line. Anything you can see, you're gonna get rid of. Any sort of flash, see right here, there's just a little flash up on this epaulette. Is that how I say it? Is that the right word? There's none on that side. And I'm kind of just looking, because we know there's a mold line here, so we're going to be looking across. I gotta take glasses off to see. I don't see any other mold lines on this. Now, you guys see that? On mine, there is a little bubble. If yours has any bubbles, like that one, you're gonna take your Bondic. Bondic is live. Right here, I'm gonna just take, where'd it go? A little bit of Bondic, put it in the hole, try to flatten that out, and then cure it. Just fill the holes with Bondic. Mine didn't have too many. I was pretty happy. There is a mold line right there. If you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. We're gonna Right. It's a small, delicate mold line. Hard to see, but I know that once I get the paint on there and the stuff, I'll be able to see it better. That's the thing. Once we prime things, we're going to look things over again for hidden mold lines we missed, because there will be some. See? Now I'm going back over this big mold line. This one's the one with the biggest. Now that I have my glasses off, I can see it a little better. And I turn it to different angles too, so that there is a texture within this fabric. So if you can cut it and make it look like it's all part of the same fabric, that's good. Kind of helps hide mold lines as well. Right, there's one right here that might be visible. All right, that is done. Step one. Now we're gonna get the next biggest piece. Probably the easiest way to do this for me. All right, we should have her hair, these two wings, and if you look, there's definitely some pieces of flash and some, flash and extra mold pieces to take off of that in here. Those are the wings on the front of her outfit, her hair, and her head. Oop, there we go. The casting flash on the base of the bust is huge. You might, break out the Dremel or, a nice file. We have some, here, I'll show you. Files that I got for this are, where are they? These are miniature files. These are the ones that are in the PDF. And these are really pretty nice to use. I like that they're so small. Okay, so let's look at her face, because that's going to be the most important piece of the entire mini. So I want to take a look for any bubbles. There's a bubble back there. We're going to go ahead and fill that in a minute. We're going to look for the mold lines first around it, cut away. So when we're cutting that, I feel like it's almost better to open that bubble up like that. You'll see that? This one, I think it had, well, you covered it up with the hair, but so mostly that's going to get covered. I like to fill it anyway. Just gives me peace of mind. I just love using Bondic anyway, so there we go. One 1,000, two 1,000, three 1,000, four 1,000. I'm going to give it another couple seconds here. Here we go, and that is filled. Put another little bit on top of that. I'm probably gonna have to shave that back in order to get the neck to fit into the head, or for the head to fit into the neck. But it's better to have to shave things off. All right. Which scale 75 paints do I plan on using for this? Valthorn, I'm not gonna list that. We're gonna talk about that at the end of this stream. But yes, it is a good time to order them. Let's talk about this real quick. So we're gonna be using red, a dark purpley red, which is probably gonna be Arbuckle's Brown by Fantasy and Games. We'll use, most likely get the different reds. Antari's red. Get the Inktense inks. You're gonna want white and black. You're gonna want, let's see, almost like a peachy orange one. Golden skin, probably. And I think we're gonna use a bluish color. Hold on. We'll probably use this one, Rainy Gray, for the skull up here. Mostly we can mix a lot of colors. We won't need to mix too much. Hold on. I'm trying to remember the name of the blue gray that I use. Here it is. This is Arctic Blue. We'll be using this for parts of the skin. And that might be, that'll be a good start. Anything else you have already in your painting arsenal is gonna be good. Don't forget black and white. Here's white. I'm gonna throw in the petroleum gray. And I'm gonna throw in the black, which is that one. So I would say those are the ones we're gonna want for sure. So, okay, and I will be putting out a PDF of all the paints. I'm gonna set these aside since we already talked about them. We'll probably use those. You know, things may change in the actual painting, so be flexible. Have extra paints handy. There's a switch on the right. There's a switch on the right. I don't know what you mean, Enlamunis. Oh, the light? On the light? I don't know. We are going to, it depends. We might end up doing a mix of both NMM and metal. So I guess for your metals, you're gonna want your darkest, like the black metal that Scale 75 makes. I always get a Gamer Silver. That doesn't come with Scale 75, or you can get the Quicksilver by Scale 75. That might be it. I mean, really, look at her metals. That's a very dark color. There's a lot of black in that. There might be a few metallics, but we're going to be using a lot of NMM. So, do I shave or file? It depends. If it fits, I'm not going to file it. Let's see. Yeah. Going to fit on there fairly well, so let's see if the hair goes on pretty. So I have to get this piece off first to really be able to tell. I don't even think we're going to need to shave it. But, oh, that is my alarm to stretch because we've been sitting for a minute here. Give me a second. Oops. Oh, that's my calendar. Let's do my clock. It's a good thing I have these little alarms. Kind of helps me figure out how much time we've got. So did everybody just take a quick little, I'm gonna sit down for this stretch and I'll stand for the next one. All right, so you got most of Reaper and all of P3. I'm not sure if you want to attempt paint matches. You know, I'll take pictures and I'll put it in the PDF and you can just paint match it. Really, I mean, you'll have everything. So, if you get close, it will still be okay. Erize, thank you so much for following. Welcome. We're in the midst of a building stream, Erize. We got new followers. There we go. Thank you so much, Erize. All right, let's see. We gotta be a little faster if we're gonna be able to get more done in this stream. There's a big chunk on the back of her head. So I'm just gonna clip off. It's gonna get covered by the covered by the hair. And I'm just gonna kind of shave it a little bit with the clippers as well. Don't have to get that completely smooth, just smooth enough that the hair can cover it nice. So see, we gotta take this off too. This is the hair. James Gagnon, is that right? Thank you so much for the follow. Woohoo! Welcome everybody. I'm glad that you guys have had a chance to join us. All right, again, go back here, cut the stuff on this side first so I can see I'm not cutting off pieces that I want to keep. Like this is a piece of hair, I might want to glue that back down. This comes off. Okay. Cutting away from yourself. I'm just gonna smooth that out a little bit. All right, let's see if this fits. Oops, we gotta go this way. There we go. Looks pretty good. See how that covers that whole part of that? You don't need to do too much to it. And there is a big mold line here, but again, that's not gonna show, so we don't need to worry about it. Let's do some dry fitting. Yeah, I'm glad I did the Bondic right there. Looking at this, I see a line, a pretty big line in her neck. I don't want that, so I'm gonna look and see what needs to be filed a little bit, or shaved. I'm gonna shave it, just to see if anything can be smoothed out a little bit. I think it's mostly in the back that it needs it. Keep your fingers out of the way. Here we go. Okay, now let's see if that looks, oh yeah, that's tons better. Look at this. Well, if I point her neck toward me, then it hides the gap, and most of the gap's in the back, which is gonna be fine. Because that, again, we can fill it with Bondic, and we can also cover it with the hair. So the main issue is making sure that we fill the sides of her neck with the Bondic, because that is going to show some. See, there's a slight gap. We'll fill that with Bondic. Okay. All right. All the stuff off me. All right, let's see what I want to do first. I do think I want to file a little bit. I do have a regular, this is a bigger file. Just for time's sake, it'll help me, but you can use those little files that I have. So I'm going to rough this up, because that means the super glue is going to adhere better if the surface is scratched. Now, again, you don't have to do this, it just helps. For this whole area, crisscross it like you're cross-hatching it. Do it a couple different angles. You guys see, you can't see the scratches I'm making. And you want to do it in this side too. Now be careful, because it looks like, I don't know if you can see this, there is the tiniest little lip right here, that don't cut that off, and don't score it either. Just score into the resin here. It's going to give the super glue tooth to hold on to. Right? Go ahead and do the top of this too, just in case. Aw, thank you, Memnor. How are you? Raise your hand if you're in the chat and you actually got a bust to paint along with. I'm curious as how many of you guys are actually going to be working along with us side by side. But do some emotes if you're actually, oh, look at that. That fits like a dream. Look at that. Almost no gap. Okay. Now, I'm going to score this part right here because this is where primarily the super glue is going to go on this little square piece too. Hey, and Luminous is doing it. No bust, but you're going to learn a lot. Absolutely. You can learn a lot just by watching. You don't have to have the bus with you. But what's nice is if you do watch it and you decide at some point in time you want to go back. Oh, one thing I'm doing here, I'm just trimming this little square piece so that it doesn't have any pieces sticking up. Looks like there's some extra resin here too. I want it to fit pretty snug. Okay, get that. All right, that's scored. I'm just going to score the bottom here. Anakin hates sand. Oh, I love that. That is so funny. That was the funniest line in that movie. Anakin hates sand. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Count me in, but for the painting streams, you can figure out a way to watch from your painting setup downstairs. Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Anakin. Woohoo! All right, where did my Exacto go? So it's squirting, there's a little bit down here. Right here I'm scoring as well. It seems like a lot of work to do this, but you know what? It's gonna stick so much better once we have all the super glue in there. It's gonna be nice. It will never come apart. Do this bit. Now again, be careful how you're doing this. I don't know which is safer, this way or that way. Whatever way you have more control over. Here we go. Okay, we got. Can you see those score marks at all? I don't know if you can see them. Kinda, you can kind of see them. All right, are we ready? Let's do the head first. We're gonna dry fit it one more time. When I push it forward, it closes that gap in the front and the neck, which is really good. If there's a gap in the back, we'll hit it with the Bondic after we get the super glue. Super glue first. And yeah, I'm just gonna put it on pretty much. And it would be helpful to open this up because I think it's completely stoppered. This is not the newest super glue. It's really best to use brand new super glue if you can. All right, I'm not putting too much on, just we always say when I'm substitute teaching the kids, ... not a lot. All right, so we're gonna put this on here, you know, forward, and then hold that for just a little bit. There's something about cyanacrylite, I know I'm saying that wrong, that the pressure makes it start to adhere faster. So that's already adhering nice. There is super glue back here. I'm gonna wipe that up with a little toothpick, if I can. It doesn't look like I need to fill any gaps anywhere. Holy cow. If you have a gap, go ahead and stick some Bondic on it right now. While this is, since I already have this, I'm gonna go ahead. You know what, I forgot to score the back of her head on this part. Carefully, because we want that bond to hold. This is where the YouTuber people are going to have a better time because they can watch something a few minutes then rewind and do it. Watch me make my mistakes in advance. All right, again, I'm gonna put this on. I like to put this on the male parts, which is the outie bits. A little bit in that one too, and then a little bit here, right? Plenty. And then just fit it on and then hold it. Now you can see there are going to be gaps, and that's okay. We're going to fill this with Bondic. First, we're going to hold this on. Yep. Once I feel like I've held it on for a little bit and I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere, then I will Bondic it to reinforce it and to fill gaps. So right there we've got some gaps. We're going to fill all that. This one doesn't bother me as much. Those gaps bother me a little bit more. There's a few. Okay, so it feels like it's not going anywhere right now. We can get out to Bondic. I'm gonna just squeeze it in there. Do a little bit at a time with Bondic. Don't try to do the whole like line. Cure little bits at a time. It should not shrink on you. But if it does go down the hole before you can get to the curing part, you can hit it again. Like that. Valthorn, it's up to you. I like it to look, I like to paint my gap in rather than have a gap. Because I mean, hair is going to lay on fabric, and fabric is not hard. It's not going to have a valley between the hair and the fabric. It just really won't. So I'm just filling it now, and I can paint in anything I want in that later. Does that make sense? The reason why I am using Bondic instead of putty is because it's fast and it is awesome. And it does just not, it just takes 4 minutes, 4 seconds to cure. And I love it. Okay, so we did that part of the hair. Now it's really on there, you can tell. A little bit on this side. Bondic, it cures, it welds it together. The putty, some putties shrink, some don't. This does not shrink. And it's clear also, but it can be painted over very nicely. But yeah, the reason why I use Bondic is I don't have time for putty. I don't want to get it all over my fingers. I don't want to try sticking it in there and having to like smooth it out. The Bondic, it's so easy. Like, seriously, would you be done with putty as fast as we're doing this right now? You've already glued your fingers to it, Spear. No. All right, there we go. So her hair is on there tight. Now over here, I'm not gonna mess with that. But this gap right here, I definitely wanna fill. I don't want there to be a gap between her hair and her hair. It's that deep. And there's also a gap between her crown and her hair that I don't want. Well, that's filling. Yay, Artie Volve. Yep, it's bust time. It fills the gaps. You don't usually have to worry about cleaning it up after. You know, with putty, sometimes you have to reshape and such, and it's not even worth it if you're just filling holes. Yeah. Also, this is not, we're not painting this for contest. We are painting this for learning. So, you know, if you want to go back in and sculpt out each of the hairs and do all that, you are welcome to. But really, I mean, I want you guys to think of this bust. If you're doing the paint along, you're going to be doing this is a teaching bust. This is a teaching tutorial. So there might be mistakes right here underneath this little diamond. There might be, but you're going to learn no matter what. So it may not look perfect, but it will be perfect to learn from. Sally Winner 142, thank you so much for following. Welcome. Let's write your name down real quick. Woohoo, thank you so much. As you guys can see, the counter here in the corner of this little box has not updated yet. But when we get to 3,000, I will schedule us a painting and giveaway party that we will all get to hopefully get some giveaways at for 3,000 followers. There we go. All right, so she is on there now, really nice. She's not going anywhere. So that is the first thing. At this point, I'm debating on whether I want to put one dowel rod on her or not. I tell you what I would do with this instead, I'm going to do this later on in the stream, but I'm going to drill a hole here. You can see there's already a little spot where you could put it. Drill a hole here and put put about this thick of a wire up in it, and then we can figure out, you know, what to put in there later. You want to be able to hold it or stick it into a holder, and I just don't know if my dowel is going to be. Oh, let's try it. Let me try putting the dowel on it. Might have to pin the dowel. So this dowel is the 1/4 inch, and the way I do this is I go ahead and I score it by rolling it. Let me see if I can get this on my table really easily here. I'm going to roll it on all the sides I can. Keep turning it. And then I try to snap it right about where I turned it, or where I scored it. And then I use my clippers. That'll be easiest to do this. Get a relatively flat end. Okay, then I can put some super glue here. Yeah, it is a UV curing resin. You can already tell that might not work. Let's see. Let me do something. This one might be flatter, actually. Do this. Try to get your dowel flat if you can. There we go. Much, much better. Because you're wanting to glue this on the bottom of your bust. If you've got another way of securing it so that you can hold it, go for it. All right, I'm going to put a little bit on the end there. This. Oops, here. Ah, see, I'm gluing myself. Now, that fits right there. Take my Insecure. Yeah, Insecure. The little drops around the side there. Should, with capillary action, fix it to there. There. A little bit more Insecure. There we go. Fondic is like the stuff dentists use to make fillings. Yes, UV curing resin. You can use it as a gap filler. There we go. Now I can hold her. That feels pretty secure, actually. a little heavy. So I'm gonna hold it up by the end. That's how I'm planning on priming it without getting it all messed up. All right, so that's the first piece. Now we can clear away the schmutz. Yep, no shaping is necessary. It's just you can put putty on top of it, but like seriously, why would you put putty in this little tiny gap? I have no idea. I mean, over here, maybe. But I mean, once you paint this, that is not going to show as a gap. It's going to look like part of the crown. So you can do it. Putty is not the best for everything. All right, so now this is the first wing. Let's see which wing. This is how the wing's going, like this. So first thing I'm going to do, trim. This is where you have to be very careful. These little claws on the ends of these wings are extremely fragile, so just clip them to start. And then with your Exacto in the middle, carefully go around. See how I cut that out? Just like that. And smooth it as best as you can. Same thing on the other side, because you're going to get a different look on both sides. There we go. Then this, do not cut this off. This piece goes into the front of her right there. So don't cut this little square piece off, but this piece right here, it's okay. Cut that off and cut it away from you like that. And again, you don't have to work super hard to get that completely smooth, because it's going to be covered up. You just want it smooth enough that it fits in when you stick it into the body. Go in, maybe not. What's missing? Might need to trim the little cube after all. So let's see, let's start with this side. Make it wider at the bottom, narrow at the top. Careful. There's little pieces of resin down here. There we go. That's better. See? This needs a little shaping. Maybe I had it in the wrong. Yeah, don't cut those off. If you do cut them off, Bondic them back on. I think I did accidentally clip one off, but it wasn't because I didn't know it wasn't a claw. It was because it was really fragile, the one I had. All right, that one's gonna go in really well. These pieces right here are flash. So those you can cut off, both of them. And you should also shave them down. And smooth them out. Now there is a mold line all the way along this wing. So just scrape it off. If you have a hole, I think that's a hole, let's cut that out. See? There's a bubble. See the bubble? I'm going to fill it with Bondic. Again, with putty, I could fill it and take forever. Yeah, I smooth it right there. With Bondic, it's gonna be cured right away. And look. It is not going into the hole, it's on top. And then I can just smooth it out and sand it up. There is another mold line. Looking for the mold lines. There's not a ton, but just run your blade over all the outside edges just where you think there might be. All right. That is good. This feels like there is a little crater and there is a mold line right there. I will put just a skosh more bonded. I took off the excess. Now I'm going to cure. Your wings fit so perfectly and tightly they almost don't need glue, which is lucky as you run out. Ah, that's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny. All right, I want to ask you guys, what do you think? So in order to get, these are going to be a different color. No, they're going to be about the same color. We'll go ahead and glue those in because I think that having one less thing to glue later is going to help. So I'm going to go ahead and, they really do fit securely. He's right. I'm going to just put a little bit in there, just a smidge on these little bits right here. And then I'm going to make sure I've got the right angle in there and snap it. There we go. Okay, now this one, same thing. Repeat. Okay, to the other side. And again, this one didn't have any splash hardly at all down here. These pieces get cut off. You paint separate? Well, if we're looking at our visual reference, this whole bottom half is going to be about the same. So that's all going to be mostly black. So it's not going to matter too much whether we paint it separate or not. I would rather have it all one piece so that everything gets painted at the same time, since most of this is all the same colors. Hi, Krista Marcus, how are you? We are working on building and prepping a bust that we're going to be painting together. So I'm showing everybody. Now see, this one didn't have any bubbles, so that's good. The quality on these is really, really nice, so Karol does a great job. All right, looking for the mold lines. Is it you or is there no sound? That is a stretch break, so we are going to stop for a minute. We're going to take it is definitely you, because I think everyone else can hear me fine. Try switching up your sound, maybe unmute me. All right, take a stretch. This is a good time. You guys have been sitting there for a little while. That's much better. All right. All right, we are ready. Now. So we got that. Let's see. I cut these pieces off. Let's see if I need to file those just a smidge. I want to get them a little bit smooth. If you want to run a little bit of sandpaper over that side, that's good too. I'm not seeing really any mold lines on my piece, but check yours because you could have mold lines on both of yours. All right, now we're gonna dry fit it. Don't glue it in just yet. See, it's too tight. It needs to be cut down. Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna shave it down just a smidge on this side. Just so I can get it in there better. Okay. Much better. Whoop. Yay, glad you have sound. Awesome. There, that went right in. Yeah, so if yours is a little tight, just shave it a little bit, enough so you can get it in. Right? And then hopefully you can get it back out to glue. All right, I'm gonna put just a little bit in there. I actually like to glue the male pieces because I find that there's less extra glue places, but a little bit here too. This is where the wing is gonna rest. Now, clicks right in. There we go. All right. All of these other wing pieces we will be painting separately. Everything else will probably have its own piece because trying to paint them while it's on her, it's gonna be a huge headache. Okay, so that's our first piece right now. Awesome. Now clear away all the little debris and little junk. Make room for the next step. So if you need to pause and get a drink, we can. Actually, yeah. Let's take a little minute. I want to get out these to see what we've got here. Oh, yep, there's a wing. Got a lot of pieces in here, so we want to make sure we have two that match with the other wing. This horn fell off, so I'm just going to put that there so I know that I've got it. What is this? Okay, so this is the screw that these came on. So hopefully yours is attached like that somehow. If not, it's okay. So I'm going to throw this piece away. And I'm going to see, let's see. All right, so you should have two horns. These are two armor spikes. There's these three armor teeth, and I think there's an extra armor tooth for some reason. I'm trying to remember where those go. I'm looking at her. I'll have to look. I know that these... Sometimes once you have something all glued on, it's hard to see where stuff went. I don't really see where they went. I'll have to ask Karol. Yeah, those, I don't know where those go. Hey, Genuine Vision! Guys, if you haven't followed Genuine Vision, give him a follow. Check the underside of these horns, because my original, this one, we had a bubble right there, and I filled it with Bondic, and it was near hollow right there. So check that, make sure it's not too damaged, and then we can Bondic it later. I'm just looking at all the pieces to see if I've got any major bubbles or anything I need to do. We're kind of having a lull in the stream right now so that we give people time to go run and get a drink or something. Or all right. Speaking of which, I am going to get a drink right now. Let's see. Does anyone have any questions before we go any further? So this is your chance to answer. And Artie Volve is absolutely right. Part of the reason why I said wait to put it together until the stream is because there's going to be some parts that are going to be way too difficult to paint if you glue them on. So we're going to glue them on later and paint them first. And the reason why we wanted to have a build stream was so that you could do them in the order. You can see how my process is. System X111, I think that's system 18. I'm not, no, yeah, or 13. System 13. Welcome. Let's write down that. X111, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the class. Tell me what that Roman numeral is. I do not know my Roman numerals very well. All right, this piece right here. Don't cut that off. Don't cut off these spikes either. Now, the little nubs like those you are gonna cut off, because those are from sprues. 13, awesome. Yay. Welcome. All right, I'm just kind of going over the wing. We're gonna start with the big wings first. These are not going to be glued on today. We're going to glue these onto dowels, and then, so if you're working ahead, we're not gluing these on. We're going to glue these to dowels, paint them, then put them on, because it'll be, if you look, all these wings are very like transparent. We want them to look fleshy. So if we put these on and then prime it, I want to prime them in such a way that it'll be different than this body right here. Does that make sense? Now we will probably try to do an airbrush priming stream as well. I will try. I will not promise, but I will definitely try. Because I think it's important to show the whole process, start to finish. All right, I'm going over, I see some mold lines, so I'm just scraping those off. Let me take my glasses off. Oh yeah, there's some nice mold lines I'm missing without my glasses on. So, off rather. Now, just go through with your blade here. Just go around the edge of it in case there's any flash that you need to trim out. That has a little more line here. There you go. That's it. And then, just in case, we're going to, I think this goes on this side. I'm going to dry fit it right there. And you can see, this is pretty flimsy. So we will be using Bondic. Yeah, that definitely goes here. We will be using Bondic when it is time to glue that in. Just barely sits. So then set that aside and then work on the other one. I see some pictures with my name. Yes, it is Resin. Hey, great guy, how's it going? Yes, this is the Resin bust by Karol Rudyk. He is a master sculptor from Poland. And he does all this work himself. If you ever see these on eBay, report the shop, because somebody has been stealing his work and recasting it, and I think that is art theft. Not fair to Karol. He's just a one-man shop, and you know, if people steal his art, he will stop doing them, and we'll miss out. So support Karol Rudyk directly by going to his website. You can do exclamation point paint to find out where to get the bust exactly. Go. Does this mean the body will be, so Amberden, we're gonna be priming the lower half in black and then the upper half of the head in white, and then maybe a little bit of black over here, but we'll see. The way I'm going to do this is I'm probably going to mask off the face black, and then Actually, I might do white first, then mask off the face, do black, and then do a zenithal of white just over this top half, so that you, and some of the gray, because this part, even though it's going to be dark, we will need that gray as a to help us pre-shade or pre-highlight. Yep, it is completely resin, that's right. So see this, go ahead and stick your blade in there, just twirl it around so you can clear out any flash. Shouldn't be too much. Now this side, what in the world? Oh. Okay, so leave that there. That is supposed to be there because that's like kind of, I think it's supposed to be there. I guess I could trim it a little bit. There we go. That's better. I just noticed there's a little bit on this one too. A little bit. By the way, you guys, did you know that there was a tornado in my town this weekend? We had a tornado and we went down in the basement. It wasn't too bad. It was a baby tornado. So I think one potted plant got knocked over in my neighborhood, in my front door, but not too much, not really any damage anywhere else, except for, I guess, the lower half of town got more damage than near us. That's the thing about tornadoes, they bounce around and they can jump. They can go from house to house or jump over some houses. All right. Kitty pies, all right. Let's see, let's try this. Let's just look and see how this looks. There we go. And we're not gluing these in. We're just taking a look at them to see how they look. We need to shave anything off. Set those aside. Actually, no, we're not going to set those aside. We are going to get small dowel rods. This is where you need the little bitty dowel rods that are about this big. This is 1/8 inch, I think. And you'll need two, obviously. I got two. The flat surface, there we go, there's a flat. Oh, and my super glue glued to the top of it, there we go. The art card that I have looks a lot darker than the images on the website, which are a lot more red than black on my art card. This is a printout I did. We'll be using a lot more red. Don't worry. It won't be exactly like the printout. I'm just using that as a reference. All right, so this is gonna go right here. While I hold this on. Ah! Try not to glue myself to the dowel rod. It's funny. All right, now I can get my Insta set. You can also use Bondic for this. I like the super glue better because it snaps off much easier if I just use a little. I reported the recaster twice and eBay did nothing. There we go. Boom. Yeah, keep reporting him, guys. He really needs you to do that. So whenever you see him, just give him a little report. There we go. There we go. So that is wing 1 and wing 2. We're going to put wing 2 on here in a second. This is probably the easiest way to hold it between my pinky and my ring finger. Ah, carefully. Good. Oh, that wasn't enough. Do this. Hopefully it's got some Elsybeta already on the dowel. Nope, it does not. Why won't you stick? Something else to know about Bondic is it sometimes helps super glue. Let me do the Bondic. Sometimes it helps super glue cure. All right, Bondic quick. All right, that sort of worked. You see the blob of cured resin on the end there? Now it has at least more surface area. I can glue it, hopefully glue it on now. I'm guessing. Oh. There is no room. Oh, drill a hole into one end of the dowel. That's a very good idea, Lunas, but the problem is that little resin piece is going to get glued into the hole and you will not get it out. I'm pretty sure. I'd rather not lose my little end. Let me try this again. One more time. We'll get some surface area going on this dowel so that it's got something to stick to. This is where I sanded a little bit. There we go. And then, see, that has a little base now. I can actually sand that as well. Give it a little tooth. Now let's try when this is set. What sorcery was that? Thunderdome Drew, that was Bondic. It is sorcery. It's absolutely sorcery. We're going to put a little bit more on this side. Kind of cure it over the top of that dowel. There we go. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000. And then it's cured for sure. Now that's not going to come off. All right. So Bondic is a liquid resin. It cures with UV light. That comes with this little pen. We love it here on this channel. And I'm going to use the heck out of it. Because you'll see. You'll see why. There's a bubble right there. We're going to fill that with Bondic for sure. All right, but first let's get out these wings. Just go over everything with the file to start. Yeah, there's a few little screw doodads on the wings. And go between each one of the feathers. You see the end of this? We're going to put a little Bondic. I don't know if you can see this, but see how it's not domed? We'll put Bondic on that to fill that out. There's a few holes and feathers in my wings. We'll fill all that up. In the future, I might want to prep the ends of the dowels with a bit of PVA glue or filler to seal the wood so it doesn't soak up the super glue so much. Possibly. That probably would be a good idea. A little bit of that on the end. And then here. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bubble right there. I'm going to just shave it flat. I keep my feather shape, but I also keep it, there we go, that's better. Yes, Thunderdome, if you go down to my profile, I've got a web links that says Shoshie Recommends, and you can go to Amazon and you can click on the link and it says Bondic on one of those links, and you can order it right there. Makes it super easy for you to find. There we go. There are some holes in these. And like here, I'm gonna take my glasses off and fill each one of these little holes. This is like nothing to just touch this with the Bondic. I'm gonna fill that. And cure it in 4 seconds. Yeah, just so you know, like one day I was at CVS hardware store, or not hardware store, like a drugstore. And I saw the Bondic on the shelf and I was like, huh, I wonder what this is. So I thought I'd try it. And I was hooked. Bondic for life. That hole is filled already. You can see that. All right. And then we need a little dowel. Again, and you can, I think that might be easier to do it flat like that. Let's roll this. This is how I'm pouring my dowels. Like this. It's not bad. And then I trim it. And like Amber had said, you could use PVA to seal the wood. That is awesome. All right, yeah, I'm gonna seal it to the side of that one because there's so much more surface area right here. Let's see if holding this helps. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. Nope, it's not holding. So let's hold it down and get the. This is why the Insta-Set helps. Ta-da! There we go. We have a beautiful feather. And I think painting it flat like that's going to be a lot easier than painting it upright. Same thing with this one. Get all the little bumps off. So far, I think the one thing we've learned the most from this stream is that this particular bust Bondic is really helpful. Again, you don't have to use it. If you've got putty, if you don't have Bondic at home, you don't want to get it, you can use other stuff. But this, for the purposes of the stream and the speed that we're able to do things, we're going to be using a lot of it. So they do ship worldwide, I'm pretty sure. It's a Canadian product, but like I said, Amazon has it. Right, that there is a mold line. Mold line. Now we're going to take glasses off so I can look. Are there any other mold lines? Any other bubbles? I don't see any bubbles, that's good. There is a little mold line on the back of this feather, but if I paint it just right, it'll look like it's part of the feather, so Not too worried about it. Little drop of glue. Little dowel rod. And a little Insta set. Amazon UK has it, yep. Yeah, it doesn't take long if you have Amazon Prime especially. All right. This one has the outside of the wing and this one has the inside of the wing. I don't think that's gonna make too big of a deal. It'll help me remember which wing is on which side. All right, so those are those. Yeah, see this? I glued a little piece to this is glued to the paper now. Huh, there, got it. All right, now let's do these horns right here. There is a little bit of extra screw, just cut it carefully. This piece goes in, so don't cut off the square peg. Don't cut off the square peg. I think I might have made the mistake of cutting it off the first time I made this bus, and I had to Bondic it. Just don't cut it off. And I just dry fit it to see which side it goes. It looks like it goes on this side. Yep, fits right in. Again, for the purpose of painting, I'm not going to put that in yet because I don't want a whole bunch of pieces making it difficult for me to have to deal with. So I'm going to get another dowel. Lots of small pieces in this bust that we will be putting on dowels. Hey Protomaker, how's it going? We're doing our paint along. Do I want to do it like this? I'll do it like this. You like the crazy complex bust just for this reason? That's funny. I think it makes them a little bit more interesting for sure. Hopefully you have the dexterity to glue them to dowels like this. There we go. Not going to fuss over it too much like that. Put that aside. Get the other one. Try to do them in sets. There we go. Leave that square peg on. I do see a little bit of a mold line on that one. There's another one on the side. Ah! All right, same thing. I'm going to put the dowel right underneath. This one, I'm going to dry fit it before I put it on the dowel. Just to make sure that I'm getting the right ones in the right pegs. But that one doesn't fit. Why doesn't it fit? Maybe this one goes in. No, it doesn't want to go in either one. There. Boom. Okay, so this one has a little extra lip, and that one goes on this side. I think that he has it set up right side, left side, so whatever way that you've got it, kind of pay attention to that, because that's going to be, now let's do that. Let's make, this one is going to be the left side, and this one was the one, this one's going to be the That goes on this side. That is right. You guys see what I'm doing? Left. And then this one is left. This one is right. I think I got it all. All right. And this one's going to be the right one. Ah, stay. There we go. A little bit more glue on that. This one was the right one. Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt, right? I mean, it'll help me later when it's time to take it off. And then I won't get too crazy. I'm confused. Okay, so this one, yeah, I'm pretty sure he has them on right and left the way they go. So this one is the front. You can kind of tell by the way the wings they do curve. So that actually goes, let me break that off. This one actually goes on this side. You see how it curves forward, back toward the head? Let's see what it looks like on the other side. I don't think this goes in the middle right here. Yeah, it doesn't fit there, but maybe it'll fit here. Yeah, I think it will. Whoa! Trim it up first. That's true. Scaredom says that I should put it on the lower half because they're going to get covered off when I prime them. That is true. I'll do that. Do it on both. Good point. There's so many. Okay. Where's that wing? Did I lose it? There it is. All right. So many little pieces right now. Okay, so this has a little lip also. Take a look. Don't cut that lip off. You need that, because that will be the top of the wing. So don't cut that. But cut all these little nubs off that are on the top of this part that could connect to the sprue. That's okay. Make the little spikes pointy. There's a little hole right there. I'm gonna leave it since it just goes in. Where's the dowel? Let's get some dowels. That one I'm gonna go here with. Hope it sticks. Bit of glue, accelerator. See how that is going to snap right off when we want it to, hopefully. And this one, let's look at the comp. Oh, okay, so on this girl, I've got them going out. So I've got this going in and these going out. I would say put them in, I think, put them in however they fit best. I would say it doesn't matter, personal preference, but however it fits best. So let's take all the flash off this and just see how this one fits so I know which one to mark this one. Ah. Where do I get? Yeah, we've got the link right there, and Lamuna's just posted the link. And if you order soon, like within the next day or two, you could probably get yours in time to be ready for our paint along. We're gonna do a paint along in about 2 weeks. I want to give everybody time to get supplies. I'm going to put out another PDF, and we'll set a date for the actual paint along. I want to give people enough time to get stuff ready. And all the people who are watching this on YouTube right now, if you are following along so that they have time also to kind of catch up. Oh, look at all this. This will require a little vacuum once I'm done with all of the little pieces. Right. I don't know if you can see it. There's just a little mold line that give it kind of a lip looking thing. I don't want that. I want it to look like a membrane, not like a piece of resin. There is that a mold line right there in the middle of the wing? Dang it. Try to cut it. There we go. All right, now I'm going to dry fit this. Let's see if it looks good in this side. Doesn't want to fit. I think it's because it's a weird shape because of that bubble. I'm going to just trim it on this. Shave it just a smidge. Yeah, I think it is that bubble that's giving me issues. Remember, don't cut this little piece. Don't cut. There's a little shelf right there. Don't cut that. You can trim the little square piece so that it fits down into the vampire's shoulder. And it goes. This is the inside wings. Not quite. Let's see this one. Nope, I'm gonna have to trim it some more. That whole side gets cut off. I'm gonna set this down while I just shave it just a little bit. Here. Kind of shade it down a little bit. Hopefully it'll go in now. No, it's because it's oblong, not square. Okay, now it should go in at least one of these. So let me ask you guys your opinion. This one goes out. This one goes more in. Which one do you like better? See if we can get it to stay in long enough for you to look at it. I think I like this one on this side better. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you may need to shave it a little bit. That's why we're doing this together, so you guys know what to do. I need another little dowel. Okay. Oh, stuck myself. There we go. Send me your extra so you can get a better idea. All right, and again, I'm going to put this right there to fit on there. This is kind of fun, guys, that I know that you guys, some of you are working on this with me. I like that idea a lot. It feels like a real teaching environment. There we go. All right, and that one was, so if this one was right, then this one is left. Wait. Oh, this one is, I didn't mark either one of these, so we'll do right and left. There we go. See, now there's going to be so much easier to keep track of. One thing I recommend when we're all done, keep, everybody who ordered these busts got a little cardboard box. Take the little pieces of foam out of them, whatever, and then lay this down in the bottom, and then keep all your little pieces in there until we get everything to the priming process. You don't want to lose bits, because then you will cry. All right, here we go. I don't want to lose bits, especially since I'm doing a paint along. That would be bad news. This is all sprue. I'm just checking it over, and we can throw that away. Let's throw these away too. I was off cam, the top of my screen when I did the comparison. Okay, when I did. So let's see. So if we put this one here, I think it looks better like this. Do you see how the S curve is curving back toward her head? On this one, I did them curving away. So it's up to you, however you want to do it. You might give her a different look. Both ways might be equally good. So I think that's nice that you get a choice. But pick one way that you want to do it. And it doesn't have to be the same way I'm doing it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right, let's see. Now, for the purposes of this paint along, I think I'm just going to try to clean this on sprue as best as I can and leave it and then prime it on sprue, because these pieces are so itty bitty. I think it'd be easier to prime them on sprue and cut them off than try to deal with gluing them to dowels that are going to be big and so on. Some of these pieces we could probably put on her, like these pieces we could probably put on her, but I don't think I'm going to right now. I think I'm just going to leave them and then prime them and maybe glue them on after that. We'll see. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to take these spikes off. Okay, so there are two big spikes that go on her shoulders. Just be careful holding them while you scrape off the big mold line. Yeah, that's another reason to probably take those off early. There's a giant mold line. Little wings are on the inside of her head. Big wings are on the outside. I'm not going to be priming it. Today we'll do a whole nother stream for that, because I may end up just doing an upload video of the priming because we don't have cam set up. But either way, I will do some sort of priming. This needs trimming. You can see there's flash on the side. You need to trim off this flash on both of the end of the. Now again, don't cut that piece off. Just trim it to the size you need it. Okay. Now let's see. I don't think it matters which end gets what. It just goes into the shoulder here. There we go, like so. Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and glue that in right now. I have no reason not to. Trying to put that on a dowel is silly at this point. On his page, it looks like the big wings are on the inside. Okay? That is possible. Let's see. Why did I do this way? Well, the good news is, well, okay, no. I'm looking at the squares. My big wings won't fit in the small squares on the inside. I mean, I'd have to cut it down a lot, and that's going to make the big wings very unstable. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense to put the big wings on the inside. Also, I like how this looks. So if you find out a way to build yours differently, again, it's go for it. Do what you want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And if you don't like it, just change it. Just do what you want to do. I want my big wings on the outside because the holes are bigger. The holes are bigger, and the smaller wings, the holes fit in the smaller pegs much better. Good night, Chris DeMarcus. Yours fit, the squares are smaller. Oh, good. Yeah, I don't know. Mine has big squares and little squares. Little squares are on the inside. Everybody's might be different. I don't know. All right. I'm gonna say right now, this is your bust. You do it how you want to do it. There is no wrong way if it's how you want it. That's the important thing. I want mine this way, so that's how I may do it. Ultimately, if you think it doesn't take anything away from the piece, I think you can probably switch it up and change it to be different from what's on the page. Okay. The pegs on the big wings are smaller and fit the smaller holes. Let me look at these. Maybe you're right. All right. Well, we have not glued them in, so the good news is we can change things. I'm open to it. We'll put the big wings on the inside then. Oh, okay, okay. Let's look at this. So this wing goes right here on this side, on the big. And this is the little left wing. Where's the little right wing? And this one goes here. All right, maybe that's why I had to shade this down so much to get it in that little one. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it the way they have it on the website. All right, thank you for pointing that out, Sarah. Like I said, I am not too big to admit that I'm wrong sometimes. And it's good that you guys have noticed this. We didn't get it glued in, so. If you still want to glue it the other way, go ahead. All right. Shave off those mold lines off this horn. Let's dry fit it. Always dry fit. And get it in there. Doesn't want to. I'm gonna have to shave it a little bit. Okay. There, now it wants to go in. Either way looks nifty. You usually fall on the side of the sculpture. That is totally fine. I know the sculptor would appreciate it. All right, there we go. There's a little bit of gap. I don't think I don't think I need to move it. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. Looks good. No, I guess I'm still worried about these pieces. Sarah, can you look on the site? Can't figure out for the life of me. There's 3 little pieces right here. And I have no idea what they are. They look like teeth, but I can't figure out where they would go. There's only 3 too, so that's a weird number. This is what they look like up close. They look like little teeth. The other side. I really don't know, and I don't see any more holes. These little wings go here. Wait, maybe that little box right there. Look to see if there's something right there. Maybe that's what goes in it. It's really hard to tell from my picture. You were hoping there were supports for something, and you see her back. Yeah, there's nothing on her back. The only holes are right here, and that's where the wing holes go, and then I take that back. These little wings go in those holes, so I still have no idea what these 3 are. We have time to write to Karol and ask him, and we'll leave him on sprue for now, for this stream especially. Right here, I see a bubble. I think it's a bubble. Hold on, let me take my glasses off again. Oh no, it's not a bubble, it's just some dark material got on it. All right. What I might do, I think I will cut these off, these little wings. And then the feathered wings, yep, the feathered wings go right in here. And these little wings go in the little square hole right here. See? Oops. No, I don't know where these 3 pieces go, because they don't go in those spots, because that's the only place for a hole. I'm gonna write to Karol and ask him what he thinks. They're not, they could be just, I don't know what they could be. I wonder if they go on the side of her head, but that would be only 2. Yeah, they don't, I think I left them off of this build. I don't think I used them at all. See, look, this is the feather and this is the other wing. This piece is going to go right here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that in now. I have one less little tiny piece to deal with. And then a little bit of Insta-Set right there. Napster, thank you so much for the host. How are you? The other day I hosted Napster, and so if you guys haven't followed him yet, he streams in the UK, I believe. Is that right? Welcome everybody from Napster's channel. We're almost to the tail end of building stream for the Karol Rudyk bust. Her name is Elsybeta. And we're just gluing in these little last pieces. I'm pretty excited that this build stream only took us 2 hours. That is extremely awesome. So make sure They are pretty symmetrical. A little bit of Insta-Set. Cute. All right. Leave that. We're gonna let all that cure. I'm just gonna set this away and I'm gonna send a picture. Uh-oh. I'm gonna quick bondic that back on because I don't want to lose it. You ever bondic something back onto a sprue before? Now you can watch somebody do it. This is the piece that I have no idea where they go. And it's not like Karol to make something that doesn't actually get used that I know of. There, I got it back on. If you look at the photo, there are two little wings about the bigger wing things that I'm gluing now. Two little wings. You know what? The only thing I can think of, maybe they go. There's no holes that they go in. If I look at the photo, there are two little wing things about the bigger wing things you're gluing on now. Is it these? I'll have to look at it. For now, I'm gonna leave these on because they're so small. And I'm gonna write to Karol. This half damage may have figured it out. I just don't, I can see, but I don't. The only thing I think of is maybe right here. But again, I don't have any holes to stick them in, and they seem to have holes or seem to have little wedges that they go into something. Hold the bust up to the camera. So this piece right there, that's the only thing I can think of, because look, there are no other holes for it to fit into. Maybe just this. Let me get the piece out again. There's a little indent behind her hair. Okay, let me go look at her page. Hold on one second. Let's see. Can somebody throw up the link for Karol to the exclamation point paint so I can see the actual website? Do exclamation point paint. In the render picture, her tongue is sticking out. That's definitely not a tongue. Yeah. Oh, it is time to go, guys. Yes, let me look at this real quick. But while we're gonna put this other music on real quick here. Okay, I'm looking at the now I need to look at the back of it. I don't think it goes on the back. Not that I can see. All right, well, I will write to Karol. I'll find out for sure. We don't have time to do anything with them. I'm gonna set them in the box. And we're gonna look for somebody to host. All right. All right, Studio J7 is on. Let's see who else is on. Oh wow, there is a guy, let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and host Studio J7 in a little bit. And we will be back on Wednesday, and I will hopefully have Mike help me set up a stream so we can prime. So for priming, I only use Stynylresin Res, black and white primer, and I have a Badger airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, watch the stream anyway so I can show you how to stream or how to prime without one, okay? All right, guys. I will keep an eye out for PDF. I don't think you'll need a PDF. I'll just put up a supply list up on my server. All right, so we're gonna host Giuliano. Wait, not Giuliano. We're gonna host Studio J7. Wait, I gotta put this right. The back of the crown, okay. I will look. Send me pictures, Sarah. Whisper me. All right, guys, have a good one. Here, let me put the bust on here.